From Fox 5 New York, this is Good Day Weekend.
Good morning and welcome to Good Day Weekend. It is Saturday, May 3rd. I'm Haley Fixler in the Fox 5 newsroom. Thanks for joining us live on the Fox Local app. Well, more delays and cancellations at Newark Airport. United Airlines is canceling 35 round trips flights per day because of all the issues. Now, most of the problems are being blamed on air traffic control staffing shortages and technology issues. Hundreds of flights have been canceled or delayed this week. And all performances this weekend at the Brooklyn Mirage have been canceled. The venue was set to reopen Thursday night after months of construction, but the Department of Buildings shut it down. Officials say the venue failed to meet the city's safety standards. The Mirage says they are doing everything to bring the building up to code. The mayor's office tells us the site will remain closed until it is safe and has the proper permits. All right, checking your forecast. Today is partly sunny with showers this afternoon. Tonight, thunderstorms are expected, and tomorrow it will be cloudy with some rain. Well, the owners of some local businesses say they are already feeling the squeeze from the tariffs put in place by the Trump administration. They tell us they are worried about inventory and about prices. Fox 5's Jody Goldberg is in Carl Place with the latest.
Imagine a Halloween without costumes.
This year will be, sadly, the first year we will not make a profit.
The thought haunting to Alan Geller, the CEO of Fun World, a third-generation design and wholesaler of seasonal products, has 200 employees on the payroll. He says he already feels the effects of increased tariffs on trade.
Maybe I should not say tariff on China. It's a tax on the American consumer.
Geller, whose production takes place in China, sells to stores like Walmart and Spirit Halloween. He places orders almost a year in advance, but because of the tariffs, some of his retailers have canceled shipments. The problem? These orders are already on their way.
If the tariffs stay at 145, there is a good chance that we'll close.
Now, just to give you an idea of how much more businesses like Fun World are spending, take a container filled with $100,000 of items like masks and other accessories. Add to it an extra $145,000. That's their new cost to just ship it here.
That's an immediate tax. Who has 145%? In cash available?
Democratic Congressman Tom Suozzi doesn't oppose tariffs, but he says President Trump sidestepped the process.
Tariffs are supposed to be negotiated through Congress. That process of going through the debate over the tariffs gives you everybody a chance to prepare.
Bicycle manufacturer Wayne Sawson is also seeing an increase of up to 145% on the cost of components from China.
You're talking about tires, tubes, pedals.
The business owners are for manufacturing in America, but say it's unfair to hurt the companies trying to do the right thing.
I'm all for seeing the industry come back, but it's going to take decades.
And they say until it happens, costs shouldn't fall on the customers or burden business owners. On Long Island, Jody Goldberg, Fox 5 News.
And final preparations are being made ahead of the papal conclave at the Vatican. Yesterday, the chimney was installed on the roof of the Sistine Chapel. Now, white smoke rising from the chimney will signal the election of a successor to Pope Francis. The conclave begins May 7th. All right, well, rats, of course, are a fact of life in the city. But is the Big Apple winning the war on rodents? Fox 5's Richard Giacobis took a walking tour with the rat czar to find out where things stand.
Right here we have a rat burrow.
For the dozen or so folks on what seemed like a historic tour today through Columbus Park, they learned a lot more than just the history of this park.
The Norway rat requires 1 ounce of food a day to survive.
Instead, this group joined what the mayor's appointed rat czar calls an elite squad of anti-rat activists. These are the newest members of the New York City Rat Pack.
We want New Yorkers, we need New Yorkers thinking about this in a different way and joining us in collective action.
Kathy Karate is leading this new initiative across multiple rat mitigation zones in the city. They're called rat walks, where city officials educate the public about rats, their behavior, and how human actions contribute to their presence in the city.
A well-fed, stress-free rat is doing its best breeding. Multiple litters, healthy pups.
One example, how the oil from a discarded empty bag of potato chips can allow a rat to thrive for more than a week. Extermination, it turns out, doesn't work. So it's public habits that allow rats to keep populating. Columbus Park in Lower Manhattan is filled with rat-proof garbage cans, which Karate says only work if New Yorkers get with the program.
People would open it up, stick a pizza box inside. No longer rat-proof.
But still, Karate says the new hands-on approach to rid the city of its rats is working, with rat sightings on the decline.
We're seeing decreasing in rat sighting complaints, and more importantly, we're seeing increases in compliance. More properties are passing health department inspections in 2025 than they were in 2023.
So if you want to join the rat pack, the city has scheduled a bunch of rat walks over the next few weeks throughout the 5 boroughs in specific rat mitigation zones. The goal is to take away the fascination and sometimes fear over rats and educate the public on how to deal with them, because they still are here to stay. We're in Lower Manhattan. Richard Giacovas, Fox 5 News.
Governor Kathy Hochul and Amtrak are arguing over a plan to rehab the East River tunnels. Amtrak plans to fully shut down the tunnels to make critical repairs caused by Superstorm Sandy. The governor is asking Amtrak to reconsider a full shutdown, citing a serious impact to New Yorkers. But Amtrak leaders are firing back. They say that the MTA helped set the start date more than a year ago, and they're accusing Hochul and transit officials of giving misinformation and misleading facts. The work is set to begin next Friday, and it is projected to take 3 years. Well, the Met Gala is on Monday, and if you keep an eye out, you will see some of the celebs wearing looks adorned with custom fabric flowers. Now, these flowers are made by hand right here in New York City at a family-run studio that's been in business for more than a century. Fox 5's Michelle Ross went to the Garment District to check it all out.
This studio in the Garment District produces one thing here on 36th Street, but its reach extends far. M&S Schmalberg is a 4th-generation fabric flowers company, and their product will grace the Met Gala red carpet for the 3rd year in a row.
Today, we are the last domestic factory. And what I mean by that is we're the last factory that could take your fabric, whether it's a silk, leather, velvet, suede, cotton, denim, anything else you could think of, and turn it into beautiful flowers like you see behind me.
His great-great-uncles, Morris and Sam Schmalberg on the left here, created the company in 1916. More than 100 years later, they're still in business, and dozens of celebrities have arrived at the Met Gala wearing their flowers, like Uma Thurman and Cynthia Erivo.
2 years ago, the theme was Karl Lagerfeld, who ran Chanel. Chanel was known for their camellias, and we make camellias.
They've partnered with designers like Tory Burch and Oscar de la Renta to create the looks, but they never know which celeb the look is for.
And that's part of the fun. The night of, I have my dad, I have my wife, I have everybody I know texting me, is this yours, is this yours?
The studio has over 1,000 dyes and over 1,000 different molds. So if you're a customer just walking in, you literally have thousands of different options to choose from. The process starts by dyeing the fabric in a powder and water mixture. When the fabric dries, they cut it to the flower shape. The old-fashioned way is swinging a mallet to get the right cut. But these days, they use this machine, which drops over the fabric with precision. They then emboss the flower using heat and pressure to get the veining and detailing. Then the staff assembles the flower, putting on the final touches. Everything is done by hand. Mariam Baez has worked here for 46 years.
Here you'll be able to create. We have a very good atmosphere. You know, here we work like as a family. We have fun every day. I mean, it has to be very good to be here for 46 years, right?
And Adam is heartened to know that his oldest daughter, 4-year-old Skylar, wants to continue the family business.
She said, I want to work at Schmalberg. I want to work with you.
He wants to give her the gift that his dad, Warren, the flower man, gave him. In the Garment District, Michelle Ross, Fox 5 News.
Well, a mother and her calf bonding at the Bronx Zoo. That little guy is the first American bison of the season. It was born on Earth Day, April 22nd. Now, newborn bison are called red dogs because of their orange-red coats. And as they get older and bigger, their coat darkens and they begin to develop horns. Now, for over 100 years, the Bronx Zoo has played a key role helping the bison come back from the brink of extinction. All right, one more check of your forecast. Today, partly sunny with showers this afternoon. Tonight, thunderstorms are expected. Tomorrow, it will be cloudy with some rain. Don't go away. We'll be right back. But first, here's this 7-day forecast for the week ahead. Well, chemicals in plastics and cannabis use could have long-lasting impacts on your health. This week on the 5 o'clock news, Steve Lacey and Natasha Vermer, they spoke with a doctor about this concern.
In Fox 5 Health News, toxic chemicals found in everyday items like food packaging, plastics, lotions, even shampoos have been linked to hundreds of thousands of deaths from heart disease.
All right, joining us now, Dr. Jane Morgan, Vice President of Medical Affairs at Hello Heart. Doctor, thanks for being with us. I mean, this is sort of frightening because obviously everything we buy in the store pretty much is in plastic, and it seems like the more we learn, the worse it is.
Yeah, you know, when we look at these phthalates, where do we see phthalates and why do we have them? They actually make materials more pliable. They make plastic softer. They make it such that we can bend it and torque it. Think of a garden hose. But we absolutely see it in everything because making plastic softer is actually very desirable. And think about that with children's toys as well and beach balls. These are all soft types of plastics, and that's oftentimes where we will see phthalates.
And so these phthalates, what do they do in the body in terms of causing heart disease?
One of the reasons that we see when we look at this study is that there is an increased risk of heart disease, a linkage that they found at about 13%, and that equates to about 75% occurring in other parts of the world, 75% of the heart disease. So for instance, in the Middle East, in the Pacific, in those types of areas. And so why is it accounting for such a large percentage of heart disease there with regard to the rest of the world? And that has a lot to do perhaps with access to health care, environmental exposures, et cetera. But we are seeing these phthalates continue to creep into products. And again, there is a linkage, there is an association. And so this is something that is starting to have a bit of caution.
Yeah, for sure. Trying to get things more into class these days, for sure. All right. And a new study finds that heavy cannabis use can substantially cut survival rates in colon cancer patients. Doctor, this study is pretty staggering. We're not just painting around the edges. The study said colon cancer patients are 24 times more likely to die within 5 years if they use cannabis even before their diagnosis. What's going on?
Yeah, you know, this is, again, is University of California, San Diego Medical School, and they looked at about 1,000 patients starting in 2012 who had been diagnosed with colon cancer and separated them into high cannabis use, intermediate, and low. And it turns out that those with high cannabis use, just as you said, had greater than 20-fold increase in cancer deaths in comparison to those who did not partake in cannabis use within that 5-year period.
All right, doctor, thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
A lot of information there. Well, we'll be right back with a look at what you missed this week on Good Day New York. But first, let's get a look at the weather for the week ahead. Welcome back. Well, this week on Good Day New York, we got to see a first-hand look at what a good dose of rain will do to nature. Flowers are at their peak over at the Blooms Experience at the Queens County Farm Museum. Crystal Young went to Flora Park and shares this experience with us.
Good morning. I have a beautiful, beautiful morning in Queens. You know that song, It's a Beautiful Morning? It really, really is. This place has been around since the 1600s. It's 47 acres, but I am standing in an area that becomes a corn maze, but right now it's tulips because it is tulip season. And one of the fun things that you can come do with the Queens County Museum, which by the way is free all the time, but you pay a few bucks to get into this experience and pick tulips. It's one of the fun things you can do. Okay, I'm going to tiptoe through the tulips. See what I did there? To get to Courtney Sartini. Good morning.
Morning.
All right, you're the director of agriculture here.
Yes.
So explain how this experience works when people come. I love tulips.
Yeah. So we're open on the weekends in the spring, Saturdays and Sundays. You come into this field and you're allowed to pick any tulips you want, and we make you a bouquet.
I love that.
It's beautiful. It's fun. It's springy.
It is.
Yeah.
It's all those things. So talk to me about the types of tulips we have here.
Yeah.
Because if the camera, hold on, I'm going to pull
that one.
You tell me how to pick. You don't pop it off, right?
Exactly.
No.
So we love doing tulips because you don't need scissors to pick them, which is great safety. So to grab them, you just grab low near the soil base and just pull straight up, and it comes out, and the bulb comes with it, which is fine. You can cut that off later.
Wow.
So that's a double tulip. These are beautiful.
They are
These are
gorgeous.
parrot tulips, which are beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, those are gorgeous. You can see there.
The shapes are outstanding.
So folks just come in, they grab a bucket, they pick what they want, they take tons of pictures.
And I love that this is something that kids can do, older people can do.
Tons of,
It's low impact. You just find the tulip that speaks to you, and you grab it, and you, hold on, what do you do? Hold on, tulip, I'm live, cut it out. Okay, wait, this tulip is like crazy glued to the ground. What is happening?
Maybe
Don't
strong
you just love
roots?
live
I
TV?
got it.
So how much is this?
$2 each.
Okay, $2 each.
Yeah.
All right, so we picked a few.
Yeah.
We would come over to the table.
Yeah.
And literally you just lay out your tulips and roll
so
them up.
people
Is
bring
that
their
what
bucket
happens?
up and we wrap it for you. So I keep the bulbs on just it's quicker.
Fabulous.
And people will take them off when they get home.
All righty.
So just put it in the paper. And we kind of just wrap it up like this.
Okay.
And then put a rubber band on.
So you can pick 5 tulips, you can pick 15 tulips.
Yeah, so what we do,
is there a limit?
Every day we sort of assess the field conditions and put a limit. So this past weekend we were great, so it was unlimited.
Okay.
But sometimes it's 10 per person, 12 per person.
Okay, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And give me just a little bit more background on this place. It's changed hands, right? It began as a farm in the 1600s.
1697 they trace back. It's been farmed since then. So it's privately owned for a while, came into the state's hands in 1939.
Okay.
The city bought it in 1975, so we're New York City Parks land now. And it became Queens County Farm Museum in 1975. So we're 50 years.
Love.
Yeah.
Looks like a lot of fun. Well, we'll be right back with a look at what you missed this week on Good Night New York. But first, let's take another look at the weather for the week ahead. Welcome back. Well, the annual Met Gala happens every year on the first Monday in May, and the theme of the gala really defines the entire event. And this year's theme is Superfine, tailoring Black style. On Good Night New York this week, Crystal Young and co-host Atoya Burleston spoke with Nick Arrington. He's a style savant and formerly of Bravo's Summer House. Arrington broke down the theme from head to toe.
I think before we get into the full theme of it, it's broken down in 2 parts.
Okay.
So you have the black dandy and you have fine tailoring, right? But the bedrock of that is you have to understand what a dandy is, right? And I think in its simplest parts, the way that I would describe it, it is a man who has an unquenchable desire to maintain an impeccable appearance.
Okay.
Everything from head to toe.
Yes,
right?
yes.
If he's wearing a hat on his crown, it's not just the hat. It's the way it's tipped. It's the angle. It's the color. It's the swatch. It's the aura of it, right? Everything is meticulous. The way his trousers are hemmed, the arm taper, the cuff in the trousers, the shoes, everything. And it doesn't stop at appearance. It's also in his way of life, right? I mean, look at my nails.
They look better than mine.
I wouldn't go that far, but thank you.
No, for real.
I mean, we care about everything.
I'm holding this card trying to like not have fingers showing, you know what I mean? I'm like, they're like,
That
where
one
are
that
the rest of her fingers? No,
everything is meticulously done. I mean, I put this suit together. This is a tuxedo, yes.
Wait,
but,
stand up, because I was going to say, is that a cummerbund?
This is a cummerbund.
My
right?
eyeballs are, okay,
and this is actually,
turn this way to the camera. So.
Okay.
Okay. All right, I like it.
And
that is so.
This is an unusual swatch. Swatch, I mean the pattern that's here for a tuxedo. This is seersucker. Finally in New York, the weather is, yes, this is seersucker.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
this is seersucker.
Yes.
Seersucker is 100% cotton, but you still have the contrast.
Wait, Latoya and I say, excuse me.
Typically you see this in like pink, blue, tan.
Yes.
Seldom in a tuxedo, but it's warm outside already, right? Finally. I mean, the pollen is really beating me up, but I'm happy that it's warm out. But it's a summer tuxedo.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do a lot of sweating in this.
Right.
I can breathe in it. I can move in it.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of elastic in it, so I can sit here and be comfortable.
And I love how you did it with the simple black shirt. So it takes it down a notch, makes it a little more casual, but you do look impeccable.
Thank you. And it's not too much.
No.
That's what I was going to say.
It's not too much. And I think the fact that Danny moves through life, right, and he just appears as a portrait, and it's just so fitting that it's going to be at the Met Gala.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your ideas of what you think we're going to see.
So I think the bedrock of Monday is going to be steeped in traditionalism, very classic, but we're going to have to elevate it a little bit. You're going to see different textures. You may see one of these seersuckers. I think someone's going to wear tails, obviously. It's very traditional. Black
top
and
hats,
white. Yes, top hat, white gloves, walking stick. I think a lot of people are going to be focused on the weather, and I'm so happy that it's, it's warmer. There's no rain in the forecast. Sorry. There's no wood to knock on. But they're going to be walking sticks. I think you're going to see accessories are going to be really big, right? Down to the watch, right? The cufflinks, the rings, necklaces,
what's on your
earrings,
feet,
what's
all
on your
of it.
feet.
Yeah.
I think, again, dandyism, it's head to toe.
Yeah.
All right, and we're going to be right back with this morning's top stories. But first, here's another look at your 7-day forecast for the week ahead.